Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 3847 AM. Today's date is February 24th, 2026. The title of the episode is The People Are Already Feeling the Tax Refunds. Economy Ready to Accelerate. Now, on January 5th, 2026, the U.S. Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to restore domestic uranium enrichment capabilities. This isn't just government spending. It's a declaration of intent. America needs uranium, domestic uranium, and it needs it now. Here's the reality. The U.S. consumes over 50 million pounds of uranium annually, but produces less than 1 million pounds domestically. That means we're dependent on foreign suppliers for 98% of our uranium, a critical vulnerability for national security, power generation, and advanced defense systems. With Russia controlling significant global enrichment capacity and Greenland banning uranium mining, the White House has made it crystal clear America must develop its own supply chain. This is where Atomic Minerals comes in, trading on the TSX venture under ATOM and OTC under ATMMF. This company isn't new to the game. It's a team with a history of delivering major uranium exits. The leadership includes members who were part of the discovery and subsequent $655 million sale of Rough Rider deposit in Rio Tinto. The question is, can they do it again? Atomic controls 4 100% owned uranium projects strategically located in the Colorado Plateau, America's historic uranium province, which has produced over 597 million pounds of uranium. Trading at 87% discount to the peer group average, the company presents potential upside as the market begins to recognize its strategic assets improvement management team. Atomic's first flagship project is South Lisbon Valley East, located in the mining-friendly state of Utah. The project sits within the Lisbon Valley District, one of the most productive uranium belts in the entire United States. The district alone has produced 80 million pounds of uranium. That's documented history, the proof that the geology works. On January 14th, the U.S. administration showed their support again. The White House invoked Section 232 via an executive order, a formal declaration of U.S. resource independence. This goes beyond support. Its mandate, energy security, is now synonymous with national security, and the U.S. government is deploying its full fiscal and regulatory arsenal to secure the nuclear fuel cycle with North America. Atomic Minerals, trading as ATMMF in the U.S. and ATOM, ATOM, in Canada, is strategically positioned to capitalize on this shift. Uranium prices have surged, and some analysts project prices could exceed $100 per pound by 2026 as demand outpaces supply. Supported by renewed government focus on domestic uranium, the exploration sector is entering one of its most active drilling seasons in years. With its flagship drill program approved, Atomic Minerals has explorations underway and is advancing with a focus on execution. I'll leave you with this. The team includes members who are part of the discovery and subsequent $655 million sale of a major uranium deposit to Rio Tinto, an exit about 59 times larger than Atomic Minerals' current valuation. You do the math. If you want to learn more about this critical mineral story and the team that already delivered big results, check out the link in the description. A special thanks to Atomic Minerals for making today's video possible. Go to atomicminerals.ca or just click the link in the description. Let's get right into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the deep state, the corrupt politicians, the private West Central Bank, the World Economic Forum. You could see Trump now is running circles around them. Everything that they're trying to do to stop him is completely and utterly failing. Even the Supreme Court ruling where they tried to stop his tariffs has failed. Yes, there's going to be lawsuits. Yes, people are going to try to get refunds. Yes, they're going to try to do all of these things. But in the end, Trump has all the leverage. He has the ability to use other statutes right at his fingertips. He has the ability to charge everyone a lot more. So there will be no refunds. And you can see as Trump continually wins, and wins for the people, by the way, because you have to remember what this is all about. This is about going after the central bank. This is about restructuring the central bank. This is about reversing everything that has happened since 1913, when the central bank came into existence. And then they started to take the wealth from inside of this country, where they started with the wealthy. They went to the upper middle class, the middle class, the lower middle class, and the poor. And then before you knew it, everybody was giving them part of their wealth, their hard-earned labor. And they were sucking the country dry. The people were found it harder and harder to survive, especially when we came off the gold standard in 1971. And during that period of time, what did they do? They transferred the production of oil out of this country to other countries. We started to import the oil from other countries. Other countries started to import from the Middle East. They set up the petrodollar system. They never wanted anyone to know that we had an incredible amount of liquid gold right under our feet, where we could be self-sufficient. Fuel prices could be very, very low. But they did this on purpose to control the rest of the world and to keep us from making this country absolutely incredible. So everything the deep state, the central bankers have done was to destroy the United States, to make sure the United States, every step of the way, would not become this incredible nation. Because if we became this incredible nation, we became this economic powerhouse, they would never be able to do what they're doing today. Now, think about it. If we didn't have the private West Central Bank today, if we didn't have to take our wealth from our hard-earned labor and give it to the Federal Reserve, if we kept it and we used all the money for science, research, infrastructure, what do you think our country would look like today? A free country where we control the creation of currency. We're not sending currency across the globe. We're not taking or borrowing the money to send it to all these different countries, all these ridiculous NGOs. What do you think this country would look like today? Would we be experiencing a golden age? Absolutely. And that's what Trump is doing right now. He's just taking everything that they did and he's reversing it. Reversing everything that they did to destroy this country. And you could see step by step, we're taking it all back. And soon you're going to see gold rise to a point that you've never, ever could imagine. Because you have to remember, the fiat currency has lost over 3,000% of its value. Which means the pieces of paper that we have today have no value. They've been hiding it from us. They've been tricking us. They've been keeping us in their illusion. And that illusion is about to break. The first part of it is when people feel the tax refunds that they're going to get today. Not today, but, moving forward. The people are going to say, wow, look at this. I'm getting a $10,000, $12,000. I can keep all this money. I can reinvest it into my business. I can reinvest it into my home. I can reinvest it into my family. I can pay my bills. As we go throughout this year, people are going to experience lower fuel prices. I mean, already, the United States now produces more oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. What do you think is going to happen during this year? Do you think fuel prices are going to drop like crazy? Do you think we're going to see fuel prices way under $2? I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in the United States it reaches $1. I know people think this is impossible. I know people think that's crazy talk, but I wouldn't be surprised. And right now you can see that we hit an all-time record, which means we're going to see things that we've never seen before. And as we go throughout this year, and Trump continually brings in money from the tariffs, starts to sell this energy at very inexpensive prices, we're going to be bringing in a lot of money into this country. And what people are going to experience is that the money that we're bringing in, it's going to benefit the people. Because once again, Trump is going to give the buying power back to the people. Because as we bring in more and more, that means we can become self-sufficient. We can pay the debt. We can pay the Federal Reserve off. And Trump is going to show the people every step of the way. And every step of the way as he brings jobs back to this country. Because remember, what did they do in 71? They started to ship the jobs across. You know what's interesting? Every day there's a new beauty gimmick taking over social media. It seems like people are wearing 10 different masks, tapes, and patches to bed just to wake up glowing. But in 2026, we know that glow is just trapped sweat that disappears by noon. If you want skin that actually stays firm, you have to stop obsessing over the surface and start loading up your collagen internally. This is why Aegis Multi-Collagen is a non-negotiable part of my day. Unlike those viral gimmicks, Aegis Multi-Collagen provides 5 premium types of collagen that works from inside out to help reduce wrinkle volume, bring back my youthful glow, glow and restore my skin's natural bounce. It's flavorless, clump-free, and specifically designed to be highly bioavailable, so it actually reaches my cells. Since I started, my skin has the natural hydration and elasticity that no night mask or face tape could ever replicate. To celebrate Valentine's, get 51% off Ageless Multi-Collagen at healthwithx22.com. Every order includes a glow-up bundle with free VIP coaching for life, the 14 Foods for Amazing Skin ebook, and free shipping. Plus, it's all backed by a 60-day money-back guarantee. Head to healthwithx22.com now to claim your 51% discount before it expires, or just click the link in the description. The pond. They ship the jobs to other countries. And now Trump, again, is just reversing everything that they did. Because, again, what did they want to do in the end? They wanted to destroy the entire country. And how do you do that? Well, they started in 1913. They were bleeding the country dry, sending the money everywhere else, where they made the people work harder and harder and harder to pay for this. None of it was going back into the United States. None of it was helping the infrastructure. None of it was going to help to create cures or to increase technology. I mean, think about it. When was the last time we were to the moon or beyond? Why did everything just come to a screeching halt? Think about that for a second. There's a reason. Because they didn't want us to succeed. And now you can see Trump is reversing all of this. And you can see the manufacturing sector. Well, it looks like it's getting stronger and stronger. E.J. Antonio, PhD, put this out and said, Dallas Fed manufacturing sector may finally be in the clear as the decline in general activity stopped. Production grew faster than in January. New orders remain elevated. Job growth continued and inflationary pressures moderated. Outlook and plan CapEx remain positive. And you can see the D's, they've been trying to do what the central bank does. They're trying to destroy the economy under Trump. So they initiated a shutdown. Yes, the first one was last year. Now we're seeing another shutdown. And everything they tried to do is not working. Even the shutdown is not working. Peter Sayong, PhD, put this out and said, GDP survived the government shutdown, turning in ex-shutdown growth of 3.4%, just a shade below the previous 4.4%. So much for the Trump depression, and it's set to keep roaring in 2026 with rate cuts, deregulation, and trillions in factory building. And that's exactly what we're going to see. You see, the deep state, the central bankers, they know it's coming. They know they have to stop it any way they possibly can. And they're hoping that the shutdown would do it, but it's not. Because Trump's parallel economic system is way too strong. So what do they have left? All they have left is most likely to push some type of financial halt. And what I mean by that is to shut down the financial system one way or another. They don't care if they destroy their own system. They really don't care about that. I know people like, well, wouldn't that hurt them? No. Because remember, their entire mission, their entire agenda was to bring us into the new system, which was the Great Reset and their central bank digital currency. So do they care if they destroy their own system? No, they were on that path anyhow. And with Trump driving all of this, they would love to do it under his watch because this way they could just blame him. So will they try maybe a cyber attack to hit the financial industry? Maybe, maybe not. But I do believe they're going to try something because what are we seeing? We're seeing the economy grow. We're seeing the Trump effect. We're seeing the one big beautiful bill give people tax refunds, which means their buying power is increasing. And Eric Doherty put this out and says, in a terrifying development for the left, Maryland business owner reveals the single moms just starting out at her store are filing taxes under President Trump and say they aren't paying anything. They aren't paying, getting a great return. Take a listen to what she says here.
My name is Kristen Chorney, and I'm from Bismarck, North Dakota. I own Gratitude Spa Salon. We have 20 employees. 11 of them are full-time employees, and their income is mainly commissioned. So their income ranges anywhere from $45,000 a year up to $125,000 a year. It was important to me when I opened my business that we were financially taking care of the employees because I felt that this was an industry that mainly females go into, and they really didn't have a lot of financial education. So it was really important to me that we gave that to them and that they had knowledge on retirement planning, things such as this. So when this bill was introduced, I actually emailed the senators and our representative asking to include salons and the beauty industry in the no tax on tips because it wasn't originally in the bill. It has made a huge impact. Our average tips, I can tell you the salon took in 2025, $160,000 in tips. So it's a significant amount for our employees. Our average full-time employee, $11,000 up to $25,000 a year in tips. So it's real money, correct? And we have an all-female staff. Lots of single moms, single females just starting out, and I'm hearing amazing stories as a lot of them have already filed their taxes and are not paying in this year, are getting a great return that they can put to use in real life. So thank you for voting.
So the people, they're definitely going to feel it. And this is just the beginning. Wait until we go through the entire tax season. People are going to be like, holy crap, I got all this money back, which means the economy is going to accelerate. Because when people feel good and they're getting more money, they finally say, you know what? I could do all the things that I wanted to do before. Maybe they'll pay off some bills. Maybe they'll improve their home. Maybe they'll do other things. But that is going to add to the economy, and the economy is going to accelerate like we've never seen before because you have to add it all up. When you add it all up and you have tax refunds, lower fuel costs, increased wages, better jobs, that dividend check. And when Trump says, probably very close to the midterms, we're going to get rid of income tax, maybe people making $75,000 or less or $100,000 or less. What is this going to do? This is going to help the economy like we've never seen before. And this is something the deep state, the central bankers do not want. They do not want people to feel this way. Because you have to remember, the entire election is based on what? The economy. And when people feel good and the economy accelerates, what are they going to do? They're going to try to stop it any way they possibly can. This is what they did in 2020. The economy was roaring. They wanted to stop it. They couldn't. They tried. So what did they do? They had to cheat. So once again, they're going to go to the extreme this time because, again, last time Trump didn't really have the parallel economic system like that he has today. He has this incredible machine, an income machine like we've never seen before. And it's going to springboard this economy to the stratosphere like we've never seen before. This is why Trump continually says the golden age. And that's why I use that example in the beginning of all this. Because again, if the central bank was never introduced and we were on a sound money platform and we were reinvesting into this country and the value of your currency didn't go down, this country would always have been in the golden age. It's these people, the deep state players, the central bankers that keep destroying it over and over and over. And this time around, Trump is showing the people. Trump is going to show the people you can have the central bank system, the system that we had before. It is a debt-based system. It will take from you. It will bleed you dry. It will make you work harder and harder. Or you could have an income system. I will take the funds from the outside. You can keep your hard-earned money. You don't have to give it to the government. You don't have to use it to pay for the criminal syndicate. You don't have to repay the Federal Reserve. You get to keep all of it and reinvest into your family. And we will take the money that we're bringing in, since we don't have all this debt, we will then use that to help the country. We'll improve the infrastructure. We will give it to different places to cure cancer, to help society. This is something the deep state players, central bankers never wanted to happen. And every step of the way, you could see they're trying to stop Trump. Why do you think lawsuits were brought against Trump in regards to tariffs? Tariffs compete against the central bank. The central bank does not want tariffs. The globalists do not want tariffs because when you use tariffs, it creates a system that's much, much stronger than a central bank system. And the tariffs actually benefit the people. And you can see there are certain Supreme Court justices that are controlled by foreign entities. And yes, I think one of the foreign entities is the central bank system. But Trump War Room put this out and said, Justice Thomas rips Supreme Court tariff rules, says majority errors on Constitution. And he's absolutely right. Because once again, they were using this to try to stop Trump. And actually it backfired. And now they're going to move to the next level. You see, they always try with the court cases. And when all else fails, that's when they use something else, like an event, which I do believe they will most likely use. But you can see every step of the way what's going to happen. You're going to see gold and silver, and yes, eventually Bitcoin will start to move up again. You're going to start to see them hit new heights. And Unusual Whale says Wells Fargo has said that its gold target is now 6,100 to 6,300. I do believe this is going to go way above that. Because once again, when people start to learn that the currency is not worth what people think it's worth, and as Trump gives the buying power back to the people, I think people are going to start to understand and realize that the Federal Reserve, the money that they've been producing, the money that we've been borrowing, that is not the real currency. It is gold, silver, Bitcoin. And people are going to start to understand that. And I think we're going to see everything start to change. And especially when they see the economy really starting to move, which we're already starting to see. It's getting stronger and stronger every single day. So yes, during the transition period from the central bank system into Trump's new parallel economic system, it's not like everything just smooth where, we flip a switch, we go from one system to another. We're moving everything over, protecting the people's wealth, making sure we don't hurt the country, making sure we have a foundation and a system that is built that can take on the weight of this country. And that's what Trump is doing right now. Yes, it's a slow process. It doesn't happen overnight. Now, it's not going to happen over 25, 30 years. It's going to happen in a very short period of time of 4 years. When people look back in time and they say, wow, Trump was able to do this in 4 years, people are going to be absolutely amazed. Of course, while you're in it, it feels like a long time, but it's really not that long of a time. I mean, think about it. The central bank system, to take over the entire country with their system, they started out in 1913. We became the reserve currency after World War II. 1971, we came off the gold standard. We went full fiat. 2008, 2009, during the Great Recession, they took full control of everything. The market, the interest rates, you name it. And remember, the only reason the Federal Reserve had control of the interest rates is because as soon as we came off of the gold standard, they had to use the interest rates to control their system that doesn't work. And once again, it took them all this time just to get the control of the economic system in this country. Trump is going to return that control to the people in a very, very short period of time. And that's what you're witnessing right now. And this is why the fake news at this point in time can try to use the transition to convince people that his economy is not doing well. Remember, we're feeling the hangover of the Biden/Obama administration because it wasn't 4% inflation. It wasn't 7%. It wasn't 9%. It wasn't 5% on the way down, 4%. You got to add those numbers together. So when you really look at it, we were experiencing anywhere between 15 and 20% inflation during his period of time that he was in the White House. And you're feeling that hangover. He destroyed the economic system. It was being done on purpose. To do what? To bring us into the Great Reset. He handed off the economy knowing that it was a disaster. The unemployment numbers were all fake. The BLS numbers were all fake. Actually, they've been fake for a very long time, but they went above and beyond in keeping people in the illusion. And they knew once they handed it over to Trump and the people would feel the effect of this. And they were hoping that all the blame would be on Trump. But you could see Trump is moving very, very quickly with the new system where they're having a very difficult time convincing people that the economy is really, really bad. And you're going to see the economy really start to accelerate this year because Trump, he put everything into place. He built the foundation, and he knew in 2026, this was the year that the economy was going to take off and people are going to experience it. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.